Hey favorite fans, it's your boy Troy back with another fishing adventure, and today we're doing something completely different. And the reason that is because I have in my hands here a Dangkung Glassfin glass baitcasting rod. This was sent to me from the company itself, Dangkung, and I will go ahead and leave their link down in the comments and description below so you can visit their website. But they specifically sent this to me so I can go out and do some creek and river fishing here for trout in my area. And so right now it's springtime, the trout stocking has begun, so the trout season is in full swing. So if you haven't seen this rod before, this is a 4'7" glass rod. And I know some of you are thinking like, well, there is a negative connotation with glass rods, which I kind of agree, because the first time I heard about it, I didn't know what to think either. Because normally when you hear glass rod, you think of like a kiddie pole or a older, maybe 70s, 60s older rod, or maybe even like an ugly stick. You know, those are pretty notorious for being a glass rod. And they also are super wobbly and they don't have much backbone on those. But after using this, I am actually really liking this rod. I've taken it to my local creek and I've caught some fish on it. And for being a glass rod, and especially a 4'7" rod, it has a lot of backbone, especially for catching those creek trout. And I've also caught a lot of fall fish on it. It has all the power I need on it. And going on that, when you get this rod, this is a three-piece travel rod, okay? So it comes with this travel case right here. This folds down and each piece goes into its respected slot here. And this folds over and then you can tie it up with these little ties right here. So as you can see, this is only about maybe 16 inches long. That should fit in most bags or suitcases if you do need to travel. So in real life, here's the butt end, and then here is where the first section ends. And so vice versa, you know, here's the middle section, and then of course the end section. This is a three-piece travel rod, so it should fit into anything you need to take wherever you need to go. And that being said, for being a three-piece rod, I am also extremely happy with the way it's handled. Kind of almost feel like it shouldn't be a three-piece rod for the way it handled, because it did handle so well, and for a glass rod at that. And going off of that as well, I mean, you can see here, I'm going to load up the rod here. You can see the bend and where it's loaded at here. So you have your first eyelet here, and then your second eyelet, and then you have pretty much half the rod being bent right there. And so you can see where the load is, and it's got a lot of bend right there, and it's going to give you the backbone you need. And what I really like about this rod, being that it's 4'7", so I'm not a tall guy, I am 5'8", so this is about a foot shorter than me. But this is specifically designed, again, for creek and trout fishing. So you don't want an extremely long rod when you're creek and trout fishing, because you're going to be limited on space most of the time. And that's the hard part I've had with creek fishing, is I've had longer 6.5 foot, 7 foot rods, and it's hard to maneuver without hitting trees, branches, shrubs, rocks, things along those lines. You can flick cast this very easy. You can see here, I'm not a tall guy, but I can flick this and I'm not hitting the ground, to where other rods, I'd be hitting that ground very easily. And you get your side-to-side action also very easy. I'm just ultimately super pleased with this rod overall. And also, speaking of Chinese hook, the hook snout carp, it says that on the bag here as well as on the actual rod itself. And so this is a very popular fish in China, obviously, because it says Chinese here. But in the United States, we have a very similar fish, especially in my area. I'm in the Mid-Atlantic area in the Appalachian Mountains. We have something called a fall fish, which I catch quite frequently, and you'll see here in the content coming at you here soon, which is a very, very similar fish. They live in moving waters, creeks, rivers, anything that is moving. So you're not going to see them in ponds and lakes, because that's going to be more of a stagnant or a non-moving system. They like moving waters, and they are kind of a colder fish. So generally, if the temps start dropping in some of the bass and other fish, they have the same bite patterns as a trout that comes through. Sometimes the trout will bite even colder temperatures, but the fall fish are right there with them. So saying that this is the Chinese snout carp rod is very similar to a fall fish. So I wanted to point that out because, like I said, this time of year, the fall fish are hitting and hitting hard. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you can stay up to date on all my latest content. So first off, we're going to go over the complete rod itself. I'm going to start here at the very bottom end. It's got this cool butt cap. It's got this little bee on here. Looks pretty cool. It's pretty nice. I enjoy it. It's got engraved, like I said, that little bee symbol. I don't exactly know what that stands for. I guess the company logo, but it looks pretty nice. We're going to go ahead and move over here to the cork itself. The cork itself is a very nice cork. I've got a few different rods that have cork, and I would kind of line this up in the middle to upper quality. I have some really cheap cork that is very squishy and kind of breaks apart. And then I got some very nice cork that is pretty firm, and this is pretty firm as well. This was wrapped in plastic, and it had a nice, had a lot of like dust with it. So I don't know exactly what that means, but that's the way it was. And then you have your trigger handle here, which it's made of metal, I would say aluminum. It's really lightweight, but it's very firm. I actually really like it. Your finger sits on there very nicely like that. I really enjoy that. And then also with that, the reel seat has this real wood right there, and I think it's a very nice accent to this rod itself. It's very nice. And then coming up here, you have your top cap here that lets you tighten down your reel into the reel seat, and that says Nihon. I guess that's the brand of this, and I don't know if the camera can pick it up there, but there it is. Nihon is the brand of that, and there's not much to say about that. It just tightens your reel down. So here we get into the rod itself. As you can see, it says Chinese hook snout carp right there. Says length 4'7", and the lure rating is 1 to 5 grams, line weight 2 to 5 pounds, and this is obviously an ultra light weight. And so you can see right here, we're getting into the first ferrule of where the butt piece, the bottom part of the rod, and the second portion of the rod go into, and you might be able to see that glue right here. And another buddy of mine who has had this rod has noticed that some of that glue has not quite hardened it up. And at first I agreed. At first I said that I didn't have that problem, but after further investigation, and I don't know if you can really see it here, but I indeed do have that glue hasn't completely hardened in there yet, and I'm not sure exactly why that didn't cure. I've even had this rod for a little while now, so maybe it just doesn't. I don't know. But the way the bottom piece and the second piece go in here is pretty nice. You got a little bit of that section of the opening. It doesn't go all the way down. I'm sure that's the way it's designed, as I have other rods that do the same thing. All right, getting into the first eyelet here. These are Fuji guides, by the way. They're semi-micro guides, not quite all the way. I do enjoy those. When I fished, it was right around 32 degrees, and I didn't have any freeze-over issues that I have had with other micro eyelets, with other rods that I've had. And there's really not much to say other than, the wrappings around each each of these eyelets are done well. I don't see any issues. I don't see any really quality issues there. Like I said, they're all done pretty well. That, you know, the glue is all right there. The wrappings are all done very well, and there is a total of 8 eyelets all the way, including the tip here. So for a short rod, 4'7", it has 8 eyelets, which is pretty good in my book. I kind of feel like the more eyelets, the better, so you can have your line situated appropriately. But yeah, overall, I kind of really like this. And to be honest, this Cast King Valiant Eagle 2, for the color of this kind of brick terracotta, I don't know what you kind of call it, this color combination goes pretty well with this rod. I have other like black rods for the most part, and I've got a white Centron light rod from Cast King, and this reel really doesn't go with any other rod very well. But this one, I believe, matches pretty darn well. I don't hate it. I do like this combination so far. So that is pretty much the head-to-toe look of this rod itself. Oh, there's one. There's one. What do we got? What do we got? Come on, please be a trout. Nice. All right, this rod is doing really well. Got a nice backbone on it. What do we got? Trout? That's rainbow trout, baby. Rainbow trout. Not a huge guy, but a nice rainbow trout nonetheless. Get in the net. All right. Got him in the net. Got him in the net. All right, let's check this guy out. Okay, I'm gonna leave him in the net because I don't want to touch him. Oops. Now, being that these are treble hooks, I don't want to okay, so got a real nice rainbow trout right here. If you can look him here in the GoPro, nice rainbow trout. I did enjoy that on the Dancoon rod there. That was nice. We're gonna go ahead and let him in. Let it back in the water. Nice, easy release. There you go, buddy. Come on. There you go. Swim away. You're right under my feet, but that's okay. All right. We got on the Dancoon glass rod. Got some backlash on that one. Not really backlash. Those over. Oh, we got another one. We got another one. We got another one, guys. I found a spot for them. I know where they're located. All right. This one feels okay. About the same size as the other one. This is not a trout. This is what's called a fall fish. They kind of, to be honest, for years I thought they were I thought these were trout, but my species were so wrong. These are actually kind of, ooh, gosh, losing them. These are flop. These guys are fighters, for sure. And I gotta be careful with my rod. Now these guys get pretty darn big. This is not a big guy. This is an average guy, but he choked this. He choked this. He choked this guy. I mean, this is like, this jerkbait is like completely in its mouth. All right, so we got to do some minor procedures here to get you undone, buddy. The good thing about these fish, they're very hardy. It's not like trout where they're very delicate. These guys are hardy fish, so you can kind of be a little bit more rougher with them and it's still okay. trout, you know, you want to handle with ultimate care. These guys are not as much in that boat. These guys grunt and make noises. And I gotta figure out how to get this guy out of here. This is what I do not like about treble hooks. And there, they came out. Great. Okay, we're gonna get him back in the water here. Because he is, he was ready. He was ready to get back in there. Okay, I just want to show you a few things that, you know, you can do with this. So right now I'm at a creek. It's probably about maybe 30 feet wide right now. Maybe not even that, maybe 25 feet wide. So obviously we don't have to worry about that power casting, getting it out there 50 yards or whatever to try to go out there and get deep and things like that. Right now this water is probably only about 3 feet deep. So that's why I am throwing the Euro Tackle Z-Spender. It's only going to get about a foot deep and just suspend right there. This is kind of perfect for a creek type setting. So what I like about this rod is I can just cast it overhand like this regularly. I'm pretty much all the way across that creek right now, and we're just going to retrieve it right on back. And then obviously you can do your side casting. Okay, just little flick of the wrist to get to the side like that. Still gets me out there, no backlashing whatsoever. Now, depending on whatever reel you have on there, might also might give you a little bit of different action. But what I like about this right here too is I can go like this. Look at that. I'm not even looking what I'm doing, and it's exactly right there. I mean, it gives me that control that I want, and I didn't have to have all this space around me to do it either. I just literally just kind of rolled my wrist like this, okay, and flicked it out there. Look at that. I can honestly say I don't have any other rod, BFS rod out there that I can do that with, because they're all longer. You know, you're looking at, I have a couple 6.2s, I got some maybe 5.8s, 5.9s, some other like maybe 6-footers. But being that this is 4'7", this is perfect for this creek setting. I mean, I can just watch this again, okay? Like right out there, and plops right in there where I want it to. That's perfect, and I'm pretty much right across that creek. You know, if I was wading in a creek somewhere else, I wouldn't even need that much really, you know. But if you're wading, then you can overhand cast, because you're not going to have, if you're in the middle of a creek, you're going to have some sort of overhand clearance above you. But I know right here, right now, I have a ton of room around me, but I just love that, being able to just go zing like that and get it right out there. I can't do that with any other rod. Trust me, I tried it. I've been out in the yard and at my house, and I've been trying to cast like I can with this rod, and I can't. So when I'm in this creek setting, this is going to be the rod that I pull out, because this is perfect for this. I'm open right now, but there's many times I'm gonna have cover and brush, and once it gets into the later summer months, all the vegetation's going to be overgrown and things you got to kind of combat and work around, and this is what's going to do it for me. And to be honest, I ran into my trout fly fisher buddy that I hang out with quite often. He looked at this rod, he's like, we are going to kill it with this when we go trout fishing here probably in the next week or two up in Pennsylvania. He's like, this is going to work so well wading in the creeks for those Pennsylvania browns and rainbows and things like that. He said this is going to do awesome. All right, we'll try this again. Whip. Look at that. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm so glad I got this. This is fun. Let's try to catch a fish right over here. They were kind of biting me earlier today. Nope, not there, but we'll see what happens. There we go. There we go. What is it? What is it? That looks like a trout. Is it a trout? Now, fall fish. Fall fish. Alright, definitely fall fish. Let's try to boat flip them. Here we go, we got it. Boat flip. Boat flip. Got him. Man. You're gnarled up a little bit too there, buddy. Come on. Alright, so first set of hooks. Oh, it's actually only in the first set of hooks. Third, look at this. These set of hooks are not in it. This barely got him. Barely went in his lip. I know, they make these goofy noises. There we go. Got him. So, here we go. On the Dan Kung Glassfin rod. Nice little fall fish right there. We got him on the right here. Euro Tackle Z Spender. Making all kinds of noises. Let's get you back in there, buddy. There you go. Have a good time. Alright, let's try to catch another one or two, because there's a couple of them biting me out there. Overall, if you are a creek fisherman or going to be one or inquire about it, this is great. I mean, like, this is, when I go creek fishing now, this is the rod I'm bringing right now, because this is suited for this environment. Like I said, I've got other rods for, you know, maybe river fishing or lake fishing that I'll probably pull out for those applications. But when I'm here at a creek like this is great. This is what you need, because it's going to change the way you fish, and it's going to only change it for the better. So like I said, you're not getting hung up in trees, things like that, and it's going to give you that control and accuracy you need that you possibly can't get with a longer rod. So Dan Kung, I enjoy it. Thank you for sending it to me. I've enjoyed it. With that being said, I want to thank you for joining me today. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you can stay up to date on all of my latest content. Now, you have any ideas or things you want to see from me, please let me know. Just reach out. You can get a hold of me via the comments below, or I'm on Instagram also under the same handle, The Fever Fishing. But I want to thank you again for watching, and we will catch you on the next fishing adventure.